Hi, I'm Sherry Strong, and welcome to Sweet Freedom Sunday. When it comes to giving up sugar, what about chocolate? Do I have to give up chocolate? Please don't tell me I have to give up chocolate. Don't worry. I believe that chocolate is God's way of saying He loves us and wants us to be happy. That's paraphrasing Benjamin Franklin, only he was talking about beer. So chocolate is one of those things that is absolutely amazing. It's an amazing plant. And in nature, it absolutely is a powerful plant. I think sometimes we underestimate just how powerful it is. One of the questions I'm most often asked is chocolate good for you? And I often say to people, it depends on which research you're using, the ones that's supplied by the chocolate industry or independent research. Now, like all plants in nature, it has nourishing, energizing, and healing properties to it. Okay, so it's going to have that. But most of the, what we call chocolate, what most people are eating, has very little real chocolate in it and is usually bumped up by refined sugars to make that bitter taste palatable. Milk, okay, so dairy products, refined dairy products, to smooth out the bitterness and make it kind of, more palatable again. And the majority of chocolate has a lot of fillers and additives in it, things to make chocolate stay shelf stable so it doesn't actually melt in hotter countries, things like that. And some crazy things in it, even that you just could not possibly make in nature. So chocolate in its natural form is quite powerful, but if you taste it in its natural form, nature would temper how much you would actually eat of it. And all you have to do is to bite into the middle of the nibs, and when you grind it into a powder, you will see that it tastes quite bitter. Bitter plants can have some positive things and effects on our body, but it's also one of nature's way of saying, don't eat too much of this. We have adapted to eat large amounts of chocolate by adding things like refined sugar and dairy into it. And in those cases, I would definitely say, no, chocolate's not, that kind of chocolate is not good for you because it's not natural chocolate. If you're eating in its total natural state, nature will temper how much you actually eat of it, unless, of course, you just go into full-on addiction with it by the fact that it is so bitter. There was one rat study done that discovered that rats, when they were exposed to chocolate over a longer period of time, preferred it to cocaine. Now that's my kind of rat. So absolutely, chocolate is addictive, and the more processed it is and the more additives that they add to it, the more addictive it becomes. So you will find natural versions of chocolate, and in Sweet Freedom we actually have some chocolate recipes that will give you that beautiful little chocolate hit. It will be natural, it won't be highly processed, and it won't spike your blood sugar. So it is possible to incorporate it into a healthy regime when you're getting off of sugar. You just have to be mindful of your personality and your physiology and how it works. And it's a great way to start to wake up and listen to your body by seeing how the natural chocolate actually impacts your body differently to the processed chocolate. A good rule of thumb with chocolate is the cheaper it is and the higher sugar content it is, the more likely it's harmful and addictive to the body. One of the concepts I teach in Return to Food is the replace principle. And it's basically about finding the things that are highly addictive and toxic in our body and replacing them with the most natural, unprocessed version you can find. And that's where you'll find lots of recipes on board that are very low in sugar. They're using natural sugars, they taste great, and you don't actually have to feel like you're giving something up that is, in some cases, your best friend. The act of buying higher quality chocolate, less processed chocolate, and more natural chocolates, you'll find that the price is significantly higher. So it's much higher than highly processed chocolate. So that alone should help curb your consumption. The bottom line is, once you start to nourish your body and hyper-nourish your life, once you start to really get the strong feeling that occurs in your body when you start to eat real foods and you eliminate highly processed foods like the Lethal Recipe, you will actually crave less chocolate. And when you do have it, very little is required to satiate you. And it becomes something that is really special, and you contextualize it with the same reverence you would if you had to create it in nature. Sweet Freedom does say yes to chocolate in natural versions and natural quantities. Thank you for joining me on Sweet Freedom Sunday. For more tips, tools, and recipes to help you end sugar addiction for good, please go to sweetfreedom.ca, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday.